Good Tuesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, you want to set a fantastic Tuesday. I am your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson. Let's go ahead and talk about the weather for your Tuesday evening going into your future. First off, before we go on and get started, if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, make sure you go on to do so. We are at 580 subscribers, trying to get to 600. We are 20 subscribers away on the dot. We've been held up at 580 for a good little bit now. So if you are a part of the group that has not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, or even hit the share button, share it with all the people that you know, because sharing is caring, go on and hit the share button as well. Also, so what are we going to talk about today? Honestly, more of what I should say. What are we going to talk about today? We are going to go on and talk about, obviously, you can feel it's cooler outside, so we're talking to talk about all those temperatures. We're also going to talk about how it's going to remain dry, and then maybe as we get later into the week, it might start to increase. Also, no flood risk for now, but a flood risk does come later. And for the most part, the tropics as well, even though Fernand's the only one out there. But that's pretty much it in terms of what's going on there. So, with that out the way, let's go on and talk about what's going on currently throughout this day. Nothing going on. Nothing going on right now throughout the entire state, and that was expected this morning. If you remember, we were talking about how there was no precipitation that was expected at all through today. And if we go on and scroll our way out and see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we have some rainfall going on from the northeast over into the mid-Atlantic, Ohio Valley, potentially Florida, Louisiana, going into Texas. We also do have some rainfall going on in Washington, Oregon, California, going over into Idaho, Utah, and the Four Corners region as well. Look at the central U.S. Central U.S. is looking relatively nice as well. Here is our cloud cover right now. Cloud cover, we do have some cloud cover going through like the Midlands and the Western PD, but for the most part, cloud cover is more on the isolated to scattered side, and it's not too heavy. Obviously not too heavy, especially with no precipitation in it, and no precipitation falling from it. You're not really expecting it to be too heavy. If we continue through like our night tonight into tomorrow, you see cloud covers remains kind of like on that isolated to scattered side, but it stays mostly clear for most of us. As we get into the morning, though, low country will start to receive a lot of that cloud cover. The coastal Grand Strand will as well. If you continue into like tomorrow, like late morning going into the afternoon, that cloud cover will start to get a little bit more on the more kind of like widespread side, kind of like in between scattered and widespread, but more in the numerous side. But we will still have some clear spots either way, especially up there in the upstate. Low temperatures for tonight. Look at these low temperatures, especially in the upstate. 59 in Greenville, 59 in Spartanburg, as well as 59 in Anderson, 60 in Newberry and Winsboro, as well as Rock Hill, 63 in Columbia, 64 in Orangeburg, as well as 62 in Barnwell, 63 in Sumter, and 60 in Florence, 64 in Myrtle Beach, and 64 in Georgetown, 64 in Moncks Corner and Walterboro, and even 71 in Charleston, 73 in Hilton Head Island. For your rainfall, look at this. Still, no precipitation is expected. And I do want to show you real quick the drought monitor. If you don't remember, there is no drought, no abnormally dry, nothing like that going on throughout the entire state. So, do we need the rainfall? No. Do you want the rainfall? Potentially. If you want the rainfall, that's possible. But do we need it because of a drought or anything like that? Absolutely not for right now. If we continue on talk about the crazy score for tonight, we are at a 5. Not the lowest. The lowest we've ever been to, I believe, is a 3. But that is still very low. We might even get that low potentially tomorrow morning as well when I talk about it. But a 5, I mean, that's very calm throughout the state. That is very calm, meaning that there is not a whole lot going on right now, which is good. You know, it's good to have some of these calm nights, calm mornings to just when you know the weather is not going to be a factor for anything. Now for the SPC outlook for tonight, no thunderstorms are expected. No thunderstorms are expected tonight. Tomorrow, same thing. No thunderstorms are expected. But Thursday, thunderstorms come back. Thunderstorms do come back potentially on Thursday, as we may see some thunderstorm activity in the low country going into that Grand Strand region from Georgetown over into coastal Horry County from Myrtle Beach all the way up into maybe North Myrtle Beach, Carolina Forest. Those are just some examples. Now for excessive rainfall. We start off tonight. Nothing for tonight. Tomorrow for Wednesday. Nothing's going on there. Same thing with Thursday, even though that's getting pretty close. But still nothing for Thursday. Friday, though, is when things start to change. Because, unfortunately, excessive rainfall is coming back, as it seems, as some isolated flash flooding is again possible for the southern Midlands going to the low country and the western Grand Strand in the southern PD region for Friday. And if we go into Saturday, Saturday expands a little bit more, goes for the entire low country, southern Midlands, going into the entire Grand Strand and most of the PD region as well for Saturday. So, unfortunately, excessive rainfall will be coming back, chance for that flash flooding. But I will say that right now it's still 4 or 5 days away, and it's only on the lowest, which is a 5% isolated flash flooding, so things can change. So let's go on now and look at the models. So we're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. like we always do. And if we go on and push this forward, you can see no precipitation at all. No precipitation at all as we move through tonight. As we move through tomorrow morning, no precipitation is expected. If we continue to push this forward all the way through, we may see some sort of isolated activity according to this one model right here around like 11 p.m. But if it does fall, it's going to be relatively on the very light scale. And it's not going to be too high in terms of that rainfall rate or that DBZ scale. If you don't know what the DBZ is, it's pretty much just like a measurable way just to measure how hard the rain is falling. But for the most part, continuing through that high pressure, you can see it up there inside of Virginia, North Carolina, and that's what's keeping us dry. If we continue all the way into August the 28th, rainfall again, not really expected. If we go in and look at the total accumulated precipitation, you can see nothing. Absolutely nothing for the next 48 hours or so. So now, since there's not a whole lot going on there, let's talk about the long-term future. As we go on and push this forward, you can see that rainfall will return. Okay, rainfall will return. It's nice to, receive a couple of dry days, but rainfall obviously will be coming back, especially since it is summer still. That rainfall will continue to go on, especially as we go through September the 1st, September the 2nd. But then another high pressure takes right back around like September the 3rd, and it starts to dry off again going into September the 3rd, going to September the 5th, and then the 7th comes around, things start to change there again. And we have some more energy, maybe trying to come in from the Gulf, not from the Gulf, but from the Atlantic. And it might bring some moisture in, but again, this is way too far out. Way too far. This is like 300 hours out. Once we get to around the September the 8th mark, we really can't go any further than that. If we go and look at the total accumulated precipitation, though, not much. The scale right now, this probably maxed out around a 2 to 3 inch mark over here in the Tri-County region. But again, 300 hours out, so we can't really say too much about it. Let's go on and look at the temperature anomalies because I do want to show that. Obviously, the cold front moved through. It's cooler. Everyone is noticing it. I'm looking in the chat. Everyone is noticing it, it seems. And as we continue to push this forward, it's going to stay cool through September. It will most likely stay cool through September. Now, when I say cool, do I mean temperatures in the 60s for highs and the 40s for low? Absolutely not. But it does probably mean the low 80s, mid to potentially low 70s, and those low temperatures being from the low 70s to the high 50s, especially up there in the upstate. But just continuing, you see that cool air stays. Once we get to around like September the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, you can see some warm air will take over, and for the most part stays relatively warm. But once we get to around September the 11th, that's when I was talking about that moisture might come in. And that rainfall could potentially bring us below average, for example. All this rainfall right here that you can see. But again, 300 hours out, and that rainfall probably won't even be there next update. So if it does occur as modeled, then it could cool us down a little bit. And so pretty much I think that is all that I have to say. In terms of cold fronts, I'm not really seeing anything else too significant in terms of cold fronts. The last cold front that we obviously got is the one that just passed by us, and after that, it's not really going to get any more. It's not really going to get any more. I should say any more cooler, any more drier than it is now. Let's go on now and talk about the tropics, where Fernand is the only one. That is out here, 40 miles per hour, and it is expected to stay a tropical storm. It's not going to intensify into a hurricane, but it is a tropical storm still, and it is expected to become a post-tropical storm or a post-tropical cyclone probably either tomorrow night or Thursday morning is when it's expected to become a post-tropical cyclone, and it will be out of here, and there probably won't be any updates on it anymore. But still, tropical storm, 40 miles per hour, just probably 50, 55-ish, and not causing any damage, any concerns for anybody. And so that's all I have to say there. Let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off with Miss Tolliver. It says, good evening. Very pleasant day at my house. Loving the low humidity. I hope you had a great day. I did. Thank you so much for asking. Mr. Chris also says, good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a great day. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Help the channel grow by sharing as well. And that is actually correct, as we've had 11 people tune in tonight. Not the biggest of nights tonight, but only 7 likes. So 4 people came in and did not hit the like button. If you were a part of those 4 that have not hit the like button, or if you have not hit the subscribe button yet, go on and do so. It's free. You can change your mind if you want to. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Then my cousin Thad then says, good evening, good people. I trust your day went swimmingly. Just of you are awesome. Keep up the fantastic work you do for us. And that is no problem at all. And thank you so much for that. Mr. Oliver says, please tell us that this low humidity is here to stay, and if it is, please send a certified letter to Berkeley Electric. Well, in terms of will this humidity stay, for the most part, no. It probably won't, because obviously we will have some more like higher humidity. But I will say that you might have like a couple of days within. Let me see if I can go and find a humidity thing, which I don't think there's one on here. They got snowfall on here. They got rainfall. Oh, yes, they do. Never mind. I take that back. So yeah, it stays dry. You can see the brown is dry. But there goes that warmer, kind of more humidity as going to around like August the 29th. But then more dry air starts to come through. And it's not too humid for the most part, but once we start to get into September, we start to get some patches, but it's not consistent. It's not really too consistent. When we really start to get consistent with that humidity, I mean, for the most part, we're going to have like little areas where it's probably going to be very humid at times, but it's not going to be consistent. So you can do with that information with what you will. But for the most part, it's not going to be too consistent. I mean, you're going to have patches of dry air, you're going to have patches of humid air, and it's just going to be a mix of both. But back to the live chat, though. That says, I know it's a tedious job, but you sacrifice so much of your time for others. And your passion for the weather. It's no problem at all, obviously. Weather is what I want to do. Meteorology what I want to do when I get older, so might as well get the head start now, learn everything that I know that I can now, because obviously I'm still not a professional. I'm still not. There's some questions that some people ask me where I just say I just don't know. I'm just not that experienced, obviously. So for the most part, I'm here obviously for me to learn more and to also give you all the weather as well, because I know enough to where I can do that. And, it's good to, get some breaks sometimes. Like yesterday I got myself a little bit of a break. I might even have one on Friday evening as well. But it's just whatever. It's just, whenever the time comes, wherever I do get a break, I do. But I'm usually try to get here every night or every morning like I normally do. Cheryl says, greetings everyone, greetings to you. My Aunt Lula then says, good evening everyone. Today was a very nice day. However, the mosquitoes were awful. That is awful to hear. I'm so sorry about that, because mosquitoes, I can't stand them either. But I'm glad that it was a nice day though. Cheryl says, yes, it feels great outside. I was so excited when I opened the door this morning. Please say it's going to stay cool until next year. Unfortunately, I can't say that. Cannot say that, unfortunately. But there will be more cooler opportunities coming, so you for sure don't have to go on and, start getting your hopes down or anything like that, because there will be some more cooler opportunities, and fall is almost here. Meteorological fall starts in less than a week, so fall is almost here. Fall is almost here. He also says he's doing a great job with the forecast update, number one meteorologist. Thank you so much for that. Let me go on real quick and give myself a round of applause real quick. I want to give myself a round of applause. But back to the chat. Mr. Officer says it feels strange to be at the end of August and not to be in a drought. Well, it's just what this time period is bringing. I mean, obviously you have that cooler than average temperatures coming along. We got a lot of rain. I mean, this was a very rainy August. It was. And there still will be some rainfall as we go more into September. But for the end of August, it's going to remain pretty dry. But there will be some rainfall obviously in August still, but it's not going to be as much rainfall as we've been receiving. Dad said I would love the rain. Well, you guys actually might get some rain. We'll talk about that once we talk about San Antonio. Let me see. My cousin Cheryl then says, good evening, weatherman, and how is everyone doing this evening? Hope all is well. So weatherman, keep up the good work on purpose. Love you to the moon and back. You are awesome. Love you, Cheryl. Thank you so much for that. Love you as well. Mr. Chris then says, loving this cooler weather. That is great to hear from you. And then Mr. Oliver said, you are professional to us. Thank you so much for that. And that's all. So I don't see anything else inside the chat. So let's go on and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina, that being San Antonio, Raleigh, Philadelphia, and Duncan, Oklahoma. If you don't know why we talk about those regions, it's because we have people from the audience right now. A couple of them are in here tonight that watch almost nightly, and so that's why we talk about their forecast. But starting off with San Antonio first, low temperatures tonight, 77, high temperatures tomorrow at 95, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 77 as well. A chance of thunderstorms tonight, so a chance of rain tonight. You have a chance of rain tonight. You do have a chance of rain tonight. I'm going... I know, definitely need the rainfall. So it's possible. It's possible. And then not only that, but a slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow as well. This is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So obviously, y'all definitely do have that chance of rainfall. So that is great. That is actually great to hear for y'all down there in San Antonio. In terms of severe weather, though, no severe weather is expected, which is a good thing. Which obviously is a good thing. No severe weather. And in terms of excessive rainfall, no excessive rainfall is expected until Saturday. Saturday, minor flooding is possible on Saturday. So you might have to watch for that, for some minor flooding on Saturday, though. Raleigh being the next location with low temperatures tonight at 57, high temperatures tomorrow at 80, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 56. No precipitation is expected at this time, and there is no severe weather that is expected at this time. Philadelphia being the third location with low temperatures tonight at 59, high temperatures tomorrow at 77, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 57. Slight chance of showers tonight, no precipitation tomorrow, no severe weather is expected. And then up here for Philadelphia in terms of excessive rainfall, no excessive rainfall is expected there. And then the final location being Duncan, Oklahoma, with low temperatures tonight at 65, high temperatures tomorrow at 89, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 72. Slight chance of thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow during the day, but no precipitation is expected tomorrow during the nighttime hours. In terms of excessive rainfall, you do have a chance for some minor flooding tonight, Thursday, Friday, and potentially even on Saturday as well. So a couple of days for some isolated flash flooding is possible as it moves your way throughout the rest of the week. But other than that, that's all that I have for those four. What's going on throughout the entire U.S. news-wise, weather news-wise, extreme heat is waning over the Pacific Northwest. Dry, gusty winds and isolated dry thunderstorms will continue to bring critical fire weather to the central or to the Pacific Northwest and the Intermountain West. Heavy rainfall and thunderstorms will continue across portions of the Great Basin, Rockies, and the central/southern plains into the Ozarks. An atmospheric river will bring heavy rainfall and strong winds to southwestern Alaska. And that's all. Everybody else is inside of our little cool period over here inside of the east, and even parts of the central U.S. as well. Down there in Houston, they have some air quality alerts going on, and then over here they have beach hazard statements going on from Watertown, New York, all the way down towards Niagara Falls. So a lot going on, but not much, not a whole lot like have we been seeing it though. Let me go and check out my email real quick, see if I have any new pictures that I need to show tonight. Nothing tonight that I see, so that is fine. If you want to send me an email, you can by sending them to scweather360@gmail.com. Let me check out the rest of the audience. Connor's Adventure says, Greenwood unfortunately had so many small earthquakes within the past week. Yeah, y'all have had like 7 earthquakes near Greenwood just within the past week, and a lot of them were close to the same time, around 7. So that is a lot, like a lot. But luckily they were all small, nothing major or anything like that. That then says, thank you. If it rains, I will dance in it and send it to the scweather360 Gmail. Thank you so much for that, and we certainly will show that. Add some music in the background. If you do actually send us a picture or a video of you dancing in the rain, I actually will add some music over it. But that's all that I see. And so that's going to wrap this up. Nothing else for me to say. A lot shorter than it usually is, but that's just because not a lot's going on. Not a lot is going on. So if you did find it informative, go on and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, share it with all of the people that you know, because we are trying to get to 600 subscribers, and we are at 580. Yes, 580 right now. 581, excuse me. Somebody just subscribed, so thank you to whoever that was. So 19 away from that big goal of 600. Share with all the people that you know. Obviously, sharing is caring. And I will be back tomorrow morning with your Wednesday morning forecast update. We just got to get through tomorrow, and we will be halfway through the work week.